What is multicultural education? Can we, as an administration, as teachers, as staff, make a difference in the school by adopting multicultural education? Will it positively or negatively affect our students? Hopefully, through this video, we can begin a conversation to see what is the best teaching method for our students. Every teacher wants his or her students to learn effectively while in their classroom. If you follow along with my case for multicultural education, you will see that this teaching method is the most effective way to teach social studies. To begin, we need to first define a few terms that will be invaluable as we learn about multicultural education. These terms are multicultural education, equity pedagogy, equality, hidden curriculum, transformative curriculum, culture, tolerance, and acceptance. Multicultural education has 5 core values that create its foundation: equity pedagogy, content integration, knowledge construction process, prejudice reduction, and an empowering classroom culture. Equity pedagogy could be defined as a classroom environment coupled with teaching methods that helps students from wildly different ethnic, racial, and cultural groups obtain the skills and knowledge needed to function effectively within and help create and perpetuate a just, humane, and democratic society. To be clear, this pedagogy cannot exist within a vacuum, nor can exist within a system marred with inequalities of the races, sexes, or social classes. This pedagogy is student-focused and especially is developed to help students create their own knowledge. Equity differs wildly from equality. Equality assumes that a teacher would treat each and every student the same and hope that each student reaches the same learning goal. Equity pedagogy advocates treating some students different than others in order to ensure that every student reaches the correct learning goal. Teachers can do this through examining their own culture and the hidden curriculum of the school. As for today, we will define culture as the lens through which every person views their world and reacts to it. Be aware, culture is not the perceived difference between mainstream culture and the culture of children of color. Every person belongs to a culture that affects the way that they act and perceive others. Teachers should move from tolerating or simply allowing different viewpoints in the classroom to accepting or affirming different viewpoints. Every culture offers valuable viewpoints for students and teachers alike to see from. Through multicultural education, teachers and students can begin to do so. As stated before, multicultural education contains 5 pillars. They are content integration, knowledge construction, prejudice reduction, equity pedagogy, and an empowering classroom culture. Now that we have defined some important terms about multicultural education, we can begin to more closely examine the 5 core pillars of it. Multicultural education depends on a different kind of content being integrated into the classroom instead of the traditional type that is traditionally used in classrooms. This curriculum needs to be transformative, and that students do not merely accept the information, but create new ideas with it. An example of this would be an inquiry-based lesson in which students examine a problem, devise a solution, and then execute it. Teachers who use this pedagogy cannot assess students in typical ways. Multicultural education values mastery of a subject or an idea over memorization. This can be achieved through portfolios, in which students combine all their work from a semester or a year. The way content is integrated into the classroom closely entwines with how the students create knowledge for themselves. This is called the knowledge construction process, and it is the second pillar in the multicultural education. Students who build knowledge of a subject on their own remember the information longer and better. The teacher must give the students the time, the information, and the guidance in order for the students to build knowledge on their own. Instead of finding one answer, with knowledge construction, students think divergently and may find multiple answers. This type of thinking is vital to multicultural education. Teachers are incredibly important to the multicultural education. How teachers react to students, create their classroom and curriculum will all impact the student and the successfulness of this pedagogy. That is why it is vital that teachers eliminate prejudices in their lives and in their classrooms. Prejudices perpetuate inequalities, which undermine this pedagogy and render it ineffective. As discussed before, equity pedagogy, which is the fourth pillar of multicultural education, focuses on students and intends to create better citizens. In order for the four other pillars to be implemented properly, the fifth pillar, an empowering school and classroom culture, must be implemented. To do this, the hidden curriculum of the school and classroom culture must be considered. If students are shown through the hidden curriculum that they are not valued, then the teacher has not eliminated his or her prejudices. If the hidden curriculum shows students that their knowledge is valuable and interesting, students will be more invested in the class. Before we consider how to use multicultural education in our own classrooms, we should answer a very important question. Does it work? Does showing to our students that we, as educators, value their viewpoints really help them learn better? According to Green, Gibson, and Collette, it does. Both authors constructed and performed a study where students' culture was infused into the curriculum to help students learn better. In the study, one school was left as a control, School B, and the other school was given a new curriculum, School A. The school with the new curriculum significantly increased the students' scores in testing. The students knew that their cultural viewpoints were important and consequently performed better in school. Using multicultural education, teachers can create an environment in which students are actively involved in learning. Teachers begin the process by examining their own cultural background. Teachers should consider why they believe what they believe and the impacts of their beliefs in their classroom. Subconsciously, we as teachers may consider another, different culture subpar to our own culture and use this as an excuse for a student's behavior. Once teachers have examined their own cultural backgrounds, they can proceed to examine their students. As a teacher, you may have encountered cultures that are very different from yours. This does not diminish the value of your culture or the other person's. It only shows the variety of cultures in our world. Be careful as you examine other cultures to not make generalizations. Not all Hispanic students speak Spanish, nor all Asian students speak Mandarin. Exposing the hidden curriculum will create a better environment for the students in your classroom. Some classroom setups, such as chairs all facing the teacher, may indicate to students that they are all expected to learn just like the teacher does. Other classroom setups, such as learning centers, indicate that learning will be more personal. How students are allowed to interact with each other sends a powerful message as well. Students should see that regardless of status differences, such as race, class, or gender, that they should all treat each other equally and positively. Finally, how teachers and students interact speaks volumes about a teacher's view of the student. Students should know that they are valued after interacting with the teacher. Once a teacher has examined his or her cultural background, and then their student's cultural background, the teacher can look to implementing equity pedagogy strategies. This can be done through cooperative work. Cooperative work incorporates the jigsaw method, group projects, debates, and more. The constructivism method of teaching, which encourages the student's personal building of knowledge, can be effectively implemented within the multicultural pedagogy. This video has clearly stated the what, how, and why of multicultural education. Multicultural education seeks to raise every student to a higher level of learning so that they may become better citizens. It requires teachers' self-reflection and deep thought of culture in order to implement successfully. Remember, as Banks and Banks wrote in 1995, teachers should look beyond the physical characteristics of students and consider the complexity of their individual and group experiences. However, if teachers do this, they will see their students succeed as they create meaning and knowledge for themselves. Teachers, we can create difference for our students. Let's be different makers. Let's use multicultural education